Good day students, this is teacher Shilpa Adkar. Today I will be teaching chapter 7 in geography, that is human settlements. Human settlements refer to a community in which people live. Any form of human dwelling, from the smallest house to the largest city, where a group of people reside and pursue their life goals, can be understood as settlements. There are two types of settlements explained here: nucleated settlements and dispersed settlements. Nucleated settlements is over here where they are all there together around a nucleus or a center, and dispersed settlement is when the houses are scattered like this away from each other. Now we'll see the settlement patterns in India. There are two types, nucleated and dispersed, that we will learn about. Under nucleated settlements, the houses are built in close vicinity to each other, usually around a center or nucleus. Under dispersed settlements, the houses consist of one or two dwellings that are held together by a cultural feature like a church, a mosque, or a temple. Under nucleated settlements, the second point is they are developed at crossroads, river confluence, near a water body, etc. Under dispersed settlements, the second point is they are found generally over hills, plateaus, and mountains. Under nucleated settlements, the third point, they are found in the plateau region of Narmada Valley, in the paddy fields in Bihar, UP, Vindhyan Plateau, and several other cultivated parts of India. And dispersed settlements are found in the tribal parts covering central part of India, eastern and southern Rajasthan, Himalayan slopes, and land with dissected or uneven topography. Let us learn about the settlement patterns in Brazil. The earlier settlements in Brazil were formed by the settlers of Europe, mainly in the coastal areas. The coastal climate is hot and humid, and flat land is limited due to the rugged, that is, rocky or uneven topography. But the settlements have developed and are densely populated due to good water supply and a large range of natural resources. Let us see to the nuclear settlements in Brazil. They are mostly there in the Sao Paulo region. So nuclear settlements. Sao Paulo has rich soil which is ideal for growing coffee. It has a large supply of natural minerals like iron ore, tin, copper, etc. It has a steady energy supply, and the southeastern area has a good transport system. Now, dispersed settlements. The dispersed settlements in Brazil are usually seen in the northeastern highlands. The northeastern highlands suffer from extreme droughts, making agriculture difficult and settlements sparse. The Amazon River basin is covered by thick, dense equatorial forests. The climate here is unhealthy and unfit for human settlements. There are limitations on use and exploitation of natural resources. And lastly, the transport links are very poor. Let us see to urbanization in India. The level of urbanization is measured in terms of percentage of urban population to the total population. Now, if we see the graph over here, this is the trend of urbanization in India. Let us read the graph and answer the questions below. What was the percentage of urbanization in 1961? In 1961, the percentage of urbanization was 18% because the percentage, it's given in percentage. So this is 18%. In which decade was urbanization the highest? The decade from 2001 to 2011, the urbanization was highest in these 10 years. It was 3.4%. Next, in which decade was the growth of urbanization the lowest? It was the lowest in this decade from 1961 to 1971, where the rise was only 2%. And the last question, what inference can you draw regarding India's urbanization after reading the graph? We can infer that India's urbanization is rising continuously but at a slow rate. We can conclude that the level of urbanization in India is quite low in comparison to the developed countries. There is an increase in urban centers and emergence of new towns. Urbanization is more in the southern parts of India than the northern parts. Delhi and Goa are the most urbanized states. Level of urbanization is more in the states of Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Kerala. Level of urbanization is less in the states of Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Rajasthan, etc. This we have seen urbanization in India and our conclusion we have just finished. Now, let us see to the urbanization in Brazil. This is the data given in the textbook, Brazil percentage of urban population from 1960 to 2010. And this is the graph, line graph that we have done in accordance to this data given. Now, if we see to the questions, what is the interval of the data? The interval of the data is 10 years, 1960 to 1970, 1970 to 1980. So the interval data is of 10 years. In which period did urbanization occur rapidly? Urbanization occurred rapidly from 1960 to 1970 here. From 1960 to 1970, the urbanization was very, very rapid. Now, analyze the graph. If we analyze the graph, we find that in Brazil, urbanization has increased from 1960 to 2000. From here, 1960 to 2000, there has been a rapid increase. But then suddenly, from 2000 to 2010, in these 10 years, the increase has not been very rapid. It has been at the lowest rate. So from this graph, we can conclude that Brazil is one of the few developing countries which is highly urbanized. 86% of Brazil's population lives in urban areas. Rapid urbanization happened mainly in the south and southeast, with Sao Paulo emerging as a major metropolitan and industrial area. the Brazilian government is promoting the Go West policy. Now, with this policy, it will reduce the pressure on the few areas where population is concentrated and will reduce regional imbalance in the country. Over here, we can conclude about urbanization in Brazil when we see this map which is given over here. Now, in Brazil, urbanization has occurred more in the coastal states in the interiors. States like Sao Paulo, Goiás, over here, Sao Paulo, Goiás, and Minas Gerais have more urban population than the states in the north. Population is less in the Amazon basin over here and the Brazilian highlands. And that is why urbanization is also less. Manaus over here is a port on the confluence of the Negro and the Amazon where urbanization has occurred. We have learnt about the human settlements in India and in Brazil. Please read the lesson carefully and learn the answers. Thank you.